Let's start out by clicking Delete by Symmetry in the Y-axis. Snap to the front view by holding Shift while rotating. Navigate to the Polygroup subpalette in the Tool palette and click Group Front with about a 50-degree angle on the slider. You can do a Polish by Features to clean up the polygroup edge. Isolate the polygroup with Ctrl-Shift and use the Slice brush to cut in your polygroups. Rotate Snap to the back view and click Group Front again. Isolate the back and click Auto Groups to make two different polygroups. Auto Groups is located in the Polygroups subpalette. Auto Groups will polygroup based on topological islands, basically any polygon island that is not vert welded. One final thing I like to do is grab the slice circle and add polygroups around any holes to help ZRemesher build in a supporting edge flow. When selecting the slice circle, click on Square in the Stroke palette to help make it a perfect circle. Run a Polish by Features if needed. Sometimes you will see small polygroups in between larger polygroups, which is preventing you from getting a clean polish and will definitely ruin any ZRemesher operation. A quick and easy fix is to go to the Polygroup subpalette and click on Merge Stray Groups. Now when you run a Polish by Features, it will give you a clean result. Since we set up our polygroups, it's time for retopology. Bring up the gizmo and click on Remesh by ZRemesher. Click on the white cone until the cone is somewhere around 1500. Holding Shift while dragging the cone will snap the count in increments. If you are happy with the results, press Accept in the gizmo. Now we could do some tiny retopo cleanup with ZModeler. Delete the edge loops that run around the outside. Then edit the inside base so there is a nice edge flow around the cylinders. Click Delete Loops to remove some of the interior edge loops. Then manually delete the remaining edge loops around the cylinder. Combine the polygroups that will not need creasing. Now we can go through a control click with the gizmo on different polygroups to unmask them for scaling. You could either use the gizmo, transpose line, or the clip curve for this. Also, we want any sharp angles to be straight. It's a manufactured piece, so we can't be too loose with it. click on QC50 to get a sense of what else needs to be adjusted. Uncrease the edge loop and add an edge loop on the cylinder to control the fall off. Rotate to the front and make some creasing adjustments. Use masking to your advantage. Select Bevel from the Z-Miler brush and bevel the two holes. Click to repeat. Select Crease from the Polygon action, Poly Loop for the target, and Outer Targets for the modifier. Ctrl W to make it one poly group and then weld in the Y-axis. Uncrease the middle edge loop, unmask the edge loop, and tap the Polish by Features slider to help space out the polys. That will be it for the base of this model. You can lower the crease level slider below the smooth subdivision slider to add a nice bevel effect, or you can go in and manually bevel the ends if you wish.